Good day everyone, here I am again. This is my fourth video and I'm going to discuss today about the forms of literature. So basically there are two forms of literature. The first one is poem and number two is prose. Okay, so these are the two main divisions of literature, the two main divisions. And when we say poem, or it is called poetry, it is a composition usually written in verse. You can see, kanagana yung mga balak. So these are written in verses. Poems rely heavily on imagery, number one. Imagery or image. Precise word choice. Or they call it diction. The word choice or the choice of words. And number three, metaphor. So again, poems or poetry rely heavily on imagery, precise word choice / diction, and metaphor. So poems also take the form of measures consisting of patterns of stresses. That is why when you hear poems being read aloud, they have what we call patterns of stresses. There's what we call up and down of the voice. Or, gitawag na we call it metrical feet or metric feet, or of patterns of different length syllables. So, in one particular line, or in every stanza, it consists of different syllables. It can be 2 syllables, it can be 1 syllable, it can be 3, 4, or 5, or 6, or depending on how the author is going to convey the message of that particular masterpiece. Or they may or may not utilize rhyme. Okay? So like for example, in the poem Stopping by the Woods in the Snowy Evening by Robert Frost, just like this. So again, when you are going to deliver a poetry or poem, it should be delivered in a natural, spontaneous way. Okay? Natural. It seems like you are conversing something or in conversation with someone or to someone. So for example, whose woods? These are I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So this is basically a few lines of the poem, Stopping by the Woods in a Snowy Evening. So as what you have heard, it's just like natural, you don't need to sing. Another is the poem Desiderata, I believe you have heard it. It goes like, go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. You can see that in those particular lines, there are syllables, and in those particular lines, these are written in precise word choice, and there is what we call metaphor in that. Later on, as we go along the way, we will be able to know what precise word choice or diction is, what imagery is, and what metaphor is. Okay? And number two, the next division of literature is prose. Prose basically consists of writing that does not adhere to any particular structures. In other words, it doesn't need to have measures because it is written in sentences or in phrases, and just like that. It is spoken or written language without metrical structures, as distinguished from poetry or verse. Again, no metrical structures. I'll give an example of prose and poetry later on.